What's up YouTube? Jeff back again from dopetechdaily.com. Today I'm bringing you guys some 48-hour impressions of the HTC U Ultra. Now if you guys haven't seen my unboxing yet of the HTC U Ultra, I'll drop the link in the description. Please check it out. I imported this model from Taiwan, so I've got it early, about 3 weeks earlier than the US models are shipping. And so I've been using this since Friday. I wanted to give you guys some impressions. Keep in mind, these are 2-day impressions, so this is not a final review or anything like that. Just want to give you guys some thoughts. So the first thing, I talked about the feel of the phone in hand during my original video. It obviously collects a lot of fingerprints, as you guys can see. I've been using it without the case as much as I can to sort of see how that's going to hold up. I haven't got any scratches yet on the back, but over time, if you use this without a case, I would have to guess that you're probably going to end up with some scratches if you decide to go the naked route with the HTC U Ultra. It's also a very, very large phone. So I don't know if you can tell exactly how large it is. I compared it to the Mate 9 in the last video. Another comparison that a lot of people really wanted to see was versus the LG V20, and you can actually see it versus the V20 here. It's actually slightly taller than the LG V20, and if you put these two side by side, you can see right there the actual height difference between the Ultra and the V20. It's not substantial, but it is a little bit thicker as well. It's got these contoured curves on the back. It's still thicker than the V20. It's also heavier in the hand. It feels heavier to me anyway. I didn't actually check out the weights, but the HTC Ultra feels more substantial in the hand than the V20 to me, and I was using the Mate 9 for a while, so if you've got very small hands, this might not be a phone for you. Just to keep in mind, it is very, very difficult to reach up to the top secondary display right here when you're using the phone with one hand. It's going to be a two-handed phone for the majority of people out there. That being said, I really love the glossy look on the back. If you can keep it clean, keep your microfiber cloth with you, this phone is going to get a lot of attention, a lot of good looks. Overall, the phone looks nice. It's just the size that's perhaps a problem when it comes to the build. Overall, the build quality of the phone seems excellent. Everything around, a premiumly built phone, and I definitely like that. The next thing, which a lot of people noticed in the actual unboxing video, is that there is some light bleed on this phone. Take a look there at the very top, right below the secondary display. If I hold it as an angle, you can see a little bit better. Right here under the front camera, right there on the left, you can see that light bleed where the secondary display meets the primary display. Now this is an issue on the LG V20 as well. I've noticed it. It's not as bad on my LG V20 as it is on this HTC Ultra. You can't really see it when you've got the black background here on the home screen. You can see I've got a black wallpaper. This wallpaper is from Backdrops, by the way. I know some people are going to ask about that. But if you go into any of your apps, like Hangouts, you can see it there prominently. Gmail, which I just showed. If you go into my Twitter app, which is Flamingo, and you have it at an angle, you can see it. Now, is it going to be the biggest deal? Probably for the normal consumer, the average consumer, probably not. But if you pay $750 or $850 in my case to get this phone, you're not going to be super happy about the fact that you've got that light bleed right there. And if you do hold your phone at an angle while you're texting or typing, that's something you're going to notice. It's going to be pretty prominent, and it might bother you. So I just wanted to mention it so that you're aware of that. Otherwise, the display is quite good. I didn't notice any other light leakage around the display when watching movies or anything like that. It's just that little bit of light bleed right at the top where you've got the secondary and primary display coming together. Speaking of the secondary display, which is right here, I took a look at some of the features in my original video. You've got app shortcuts. You guys can see I customized those there. You've also got, you can put a custom text there. I just put my Twitter handle. You've got your weather there. You've got your calendar there. You can see I've got my next event there. You've got your Spotify music controls, and you have your contacts right there. You can put all of your favorite contacts at the top. Now, it's pretty similar, of course, to, I'm not trying to turn this into a V20 versus U Ultra comparison video, but if you look at the V20, it's pretty much the same thing. You can also add up there some quick toggles just like you can on the V20. I will do a very in-depth comparison between the secondary display on both of these phones. So if you're interested in that video, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. Overall, the secondary display is pretty similar to what it is on the V20. It's kind of a gimmick for most people. However, if you're a power user like myself, you might find it very useful because it will help you automate and speed up some tasks that you might do on a daily basis. I think it's really probably more for the power user than it is for the everyday consumer, just because they're not going to be jumping between 6 apps, and they're not going to care about the speed difference of quick launching from the top versus just going back to the home screen and choosing an app. The next thing is the overall software performance. The software performance is good. It's pretty fast. It's not quite as fast as the Pixel or the Mate 9 even, in my opinion. It's not quite as smooth. I have had a few hiccups here and there. Maybe that has to do with Sense. I got 2 software updates out of the box. Actually, let me go in here and I'll show you guys really quick the version number I'm running here. They were minor updates. They were about a little bit over 100 megs. So let's go ahead and go to the software information. You can see the software number there that I'm running, and then you can also see the build number right there. So I did get 2 updates out of the box back to back. Since those updates, it's been pretty good. I haven't noticed any major hiccups. A few apps launch a little slower than they do on the Mate 9, and also moving between apps seems a little bit slower as well. Now that could have something to do with the higher resolution display, but I mean, I don't really believe that the display resolution makes such a huge difference when jumping between apps. It's not really noticeable. I'll try to do a speed test if people are interested. Let me know in the comments. Battery life, of course, is something else people asked about in the last video. We do have a pretty good battery in here, despite the fact that it's a big phone. A lot of people wanted it to be larger, but I've noticed the software seems quite well optimized. I post a couple of screenshots over on Twitter if you guys want to go take a look at them and see my first 2 battery cycles. They were really good. This one I've been using on LTE a little bit more, and I'm almost right at 45 minutes with 80% left. So if you project that out, that's probably not as good as I've been getting. That's going to be close to 4 hours screen on time. I got 5 hours screen on time on my first 2 cycles, which again, I have those screenshots on my Twitter. The link is below. I was using that on Wi-Fi a whole lot in the very first 2 cycles because I've been at home large part of the weekend. Today, Sunday, I was actually out and about a little bit more, so I was using LTE. That's probably attributable to the difference here. And again, I'll give some more updated stats when I do the full review. This is just a 2-day impressions of the battery life. Looks like it's going to be somewhere between 4 and 5 hours, maybe settle around 4.5 hours screen on time if you use a decent mix of Wi-Fi and LTE. The next thing, of course, is the camera. Again, pretty early to give any camera comparisons and say that exactly one phone is better than the other. These are a couple shots I took outside today. I think they look really, really nice. The colors are really good. I've noticed the autofocus is super fast. This one was taken in the shade in really low light outside. And the detail is very, very impressive on these shots. I posted a couple other pictures. If we can go indoor shots yesterday. This is of me watching Mobile World Congress at 4 a.m. this morning. These are my Ultra Boost. Very, very good, very clear picture. This was also shot indoors with low light. Another couple shots of the Ultra Boost. I took quite a few of those before I got one I liked. Took this picture of my lunch. All these are over on Twitter if you want to look at them in detail. And in the full review, I'll post some higher resolution shots. The autofocus seems pretty fast to me. It hasn't had any lens flare issues. I know some people asked about that because the Pixel and the Pixel XL, I had those issues. And some people had it with the HTC 10. If you look at the camera module on here, this one does not have quite as aggressive of a camera module in terms of the way it's situated on the back. If you put your finger near it, it doesn't freak out like the one on the HTC 10. So I haven't had any issues with lens flare or anything like that. I'll watch out for it as I continue taking pictures. I guess I haven't taken any that have a direct light source in my photo itself, which is taking it right next to the light source. So I'll have to watch out for that and let you guys know. One other thing I noticed about charging is the phone does seem to charge pretty slow, a lot slower than I expected. I do have, of course, the international charging, the power brick, so that could be why I used a converter so that I could use it. It's not charging nearly as fast as my other quick charge devices. I'll have to do some additional research and see what might be going on with that overall. Trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about with this particular phone. There was a little bit of bloatware installed. I said in the original video there was no bloatware. One app, which I know HTC doesn't consider bloatware, but I do, is News Republic. You can see I removed it. It's what lets you put your information into Blink Feed and get the news. I don't really like News Republic, and they've had it on their phones for quite a while now. I don't mind having my social media in Blink Feed. Of course, what you get by just swiping over on the home screen. I have my Facebook and Google Plus there, so I can just look through it. That's not a problem, but I really don't like News Republic. They also put that information on your lock screen as well. You do have double tap to wake gestures. Someone else was asking about that. I haven't had much of a chance to test the front-facing camera. I'll probably shoot a car vlog tomorrow with the front-facing camera, so I'll let you guys know how the front-facing camera is performing. Fingerprint scanner seems super fast overall. I definitely like the fingerprint scanner. I kind of remembering now that I prefer it on the front. I've been using phones that only have rear-facing fingerprint scanners for a while, but I'm finding that I actually prefer it on the front of the phone, and it's lightning fast on the U Ultra. Someone asked about the boom sound setup. It's pretty similar to the one on the HTC 10. Okay, I have sort of a tweeter here on the bottom, along with that speaker on the front. It's not very good in terms of overall loudness. The clarity is fine. Just like the HTC 10, I don't find it nearly as good as having front-facing speakers, and you know, it is what it is. It's mediocre, definitely, with the sound quality. A few people asked about that. I watched a ton of YouTube videos, including the Mobile World Congress events, and it's just not the loudest experience that you're going to get. So if you're wondering about watching media with your phone, this arrangement is definitely not ideal. However, if you're going to use headphones, and in particular, if you're going to use the Usonic headphones, I didn't grab them, but you'll notice I did not mention this in the unboxing, but I should have. There's no headphone jack here. You plug your Usonic headphones in via the USB-C port. They connect right in there, and then you listen to the music that way. The Usonic headphones are very, very impressive. They have a tuning mechanism in the software. You can set them up for your own personal audio profile, and it works really, really well. You can tell the difference between your own personal audio profile and the standard baseline. So I highly recommend taking advantage of that. I hope they bundle the Usonic headphones with all the models in the US, that everyone gets this phone also gets the headphones. The DAC in here is really, really good. So if you're going to use wired headphones, and especially the ones that HTC includes with it, you're going to get great audio quality. Just so happens the speakers are not very good, so you'll probably want to use those headphones whenever watching videos as well as listening to media. I think that's about it. So I've talked about the power, performance, the cameras again. I still got a lot of testing to do. Let me know what you guys want to know about the phone. I think I addressed most people's issues. I'm still going to test out the dual SIM capability. I know someone asked about that, so if you're the person who asked about the dual SIM, I'll definitely get back to you on the dual SIM capability. Don't worry about that. And you guys can follow me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy my content. I got a ton of stuff coming up very, very soon, including some LG G6 coverage. I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.